get the audacity to go on national radio in your own country and start accusing me of having all these affairs that I never did, when you knew the whole time you had a girl sleeping in my bed, our bed, the house that I furnished, and you just went around, now you are on national radio talking about me. You know what? R.I.P. her soul, my mama raised me better than that. But do not push the buttons, because when I start talking about you, honey, you will hide. You will hide.
Lord have mercy. What's popping at Patsy Gold Drizzy? You all know the drill, so let's just jump straight into it. So that clip of Zari going off on Diamond, saw it somewhere on the internet. I was like, God damn, very interesting, and people were discussing back then when Zari and Diamond were breaking off. So apart from that, these people have put Bichkole on an awkward position. And he had to literally make excuses when he was being asked to talk about what transpired. On a segment on Wasafi, Bichkole is like a guest who comes once in a while, and wherever there's an event and there's drama, he'll be the one to kind of give insights of what happened, and that is what people, of course, expected. But since Bichkole is cool with Zuchu, and he's buddying up with Aaliyah, Bichkole didn't want a drama, okay? He didn't want none of that. I remember in the interview that he did with Ricky Media, it was awkward because you can tell that he really want to speak, but he can't because he's being smart about this whole situation. He knows it's a power fight that is going on. He must make sure that at the end of the day, he stays on a winning team, okay? Because they were asking him, about Aaliyah's gift to Diamond's mother. He could barely put in 2 sentences. They ask about what's going on. Like, Bichkole, that is the most awkwardest I've seen him. And this is the problem with being a commentator and then going to work on corporate places. Now they censor, they control what you say. You can't even be yourself. That's why you see a lot of media personality turn into doing podcasts and doing, the things the way they want to do without being censored. Now he can't do what people love him doing. That is giving gossip and giving some tea. Because it's trying not to step on Zuchu or Aaliyah's toes or Diamond's mother. He doesn't want to say something that might get him in trouble, okay? And because it happened on Saturday night, of course, a lot of radio stations don't work on Sundays. Today is when a lot of radio stations, started talking about it. In East Africa, it was the news. Some people still insist it was cloud chase that Diamond and Zuchu are doing. I don't think it's a cloud chase. I think this right here is something that happened, honey. Because I don't know. I don't think, in my opinion, it's a cloud chase. Yeah. And a lot of radio stations are talking about it, of course, including TZ. But Wasafi have decided not to check in on that story because it involves their boss and their boss's women and their boss's mother. That's crazy, okay? Or rather, the person whose clips are going viral is Karima's story, okay? She talked about the situation. She gave a little bit of insight of what happened between Zuchu and Diamond Platnumz. She's free. She ran her blog and she's able to say what she knows because she do hang out with them Bichkoles, and I'm sure they do share information, right? So that's why when she says something, people are giving it a listening ear. For example, in the morning, she said that Diamond and Zuchu were already going through it, okay? And even Diamond going there, they were already not in a good place, but Zuchu probably thought that they will rekindle because they hadn't talked about divorce. But there's something that happened in that party that was the last draw on Zuchu. If you go on my mother, she said what happened in that party was crazy, that a lot of things were not shared, that there's a person who was collecting news for her in that party. The bouncers cornered the person and took away the camera. It was that bad. A lot happened. Apparently, Diamond left with a woman. Do you all remember in the morning when I told you that Karima's story said that There's our Safi lady that is messing with Diamond, and is the real reason why Zuchu and Diamond were going back and forth. That's another lady, and the lady that Diamond left with also is not Aliyah, it's yet another lady. That's why you keep on hearing me telling you that Aliyah is playing a long game. She doesn't care who Diamond sleep with, even if she walk in on Diamond. If indeed she's in there, she's playing a long game. She wanna tag this family along as much as she can, and she will walk away when she is ready. But as for now, she wanna continue being in there because it's benefiting her, right?
Chanzo ni ndugu wa mume kwenye event pale, anambia Diamond akondoka peke yake. Kwa hiyo ile ndio imeconclude kwamba Zuchu akaamua kuachana na Diamond mazima mpaka akaamua kutangaza. Kwa hiyo alikuwa amegombana naye, lakini alikuwa anasubiria labda kuomba msamaha, labda yataisha watayamaliza. Ila imesemekana pale kwenye event kuna mtu mwingine tena. Ni sio hata Lili. Unasema mambo ya Lili, jamani, kuna mtu pale. Kuna mtu.
That information. Well, you all know that there were a lot of people in that party, and there are a lot of people who cannot speak because they want to continue affiliating with that group. But there are people who are cool with her, or there are people who are willing to give up story to her. She's willing to buy them stories, put it on her blog. Well, she's saying that a lot happened yesterday. What happened is when Diamond left with that lady, and what they were doing in that party is what reached Zuchu, and Zuchu could not take it anymore, and that's why Zuchu decided to write what she wrote. But that is not the only thing that made Zuchu write that she wanted a divorce. There were some other things prior. So Diamond at this point is a certified serial cheater. Okay? Certified serial cheater. God damn.
Tuna best up. Tuna watu tu ambao wanahangaika tu, wanapendana leo wiki mbili wameachana kama Kajala na Harmonize. Lakini ukienda Kenya ukimwangalia Bahati na Diana, kuanzia walipoanzia maisha yao mpaka walipo sasa hivi bado wanapendana. Tanzania hatuna makapo ya namna hiyo. Kwa Diamond na Zuchu ilikuwa inawezekana. Yaani inawezekana 100%. Ni Diamond tu atake kuifanya iwe hivi. Na tuseme labda ndo tunajiongeza tunasema kwa sababu labda ampendi vizuri Zuchu au ampendi sana. Lakini angekuwa ni angalia Zari ilikuwaje? Ilisimamisha mji. Yaani kupendana kwa Zari na Diamond ilikuwa ni yani ni big. Alikuja kwa Tanasha, yani ilikuwa ni big, lakini kwa Zuchu kwanza harusi wamfunga kimya, sherehe yani hakuna, yani hajataka kupoteza hela zake kwa ajili ya sherehe kumuoa mke wake, yani.
Okay, so the lady go ahead and talked about Diamond Platnumz's exes, how, you know, they were being treated differently. Diamond was going out of his way to do, you know, good things for these women. I remember Tanasha Donna's birthday, because they share birthday with Diamond's mother. I remember baby shower. You know, it was a lot. It was a lot. Things that we haven't seen Diamond doing to Zuchu, right? So, in my opinion, of course, she touched on, you know, how in TZ they don't have a power couple. Yeah. I think Juma and Priscilla are considered international couple. It's not only a Tanzanian thing, yeah? So I understand why she's saying that. So also, she's saying that Kajala and Harmonize are not the ones to be looked up to because they're breaking up 1 week they're together. So according to her, she doesn't see that like something to be emulated. So, here's my thing. I personally feel like Zuchu has been embarrassed. And this time round, she even quoted Quran. She spoke about Diamond in third person, saying there was, like in the past, like she's no longer with him, even though they've started the divorce progress, according to what she wrote. So technically, they're still married, so she's not supposed to put Diamond as a past. So that means that she's still speaking on emotion. And you all know that as women, if there's one thing about us, when we are yapping too much like that on social media, it means that we will definitely go back there. Just like I'm telling you that Zuchu is going to go back with Diamond Platnumz. And of course, a lot of people who are looking at it are saying that she have nowhere to go. Just like I've been telling you, Diamond knows that he know how to get Zuchu, and that's why he's treating Zuchu like this, and Zuchu is allowing Diamond to treat her like this. But anyway, this is just about it. About this Zuchu's content, I don't think I'll talk about it until maybe, because there's a lot of content surrounding this, until maybe Zuchu or Diamond post something, or the family members, that is the mother or the brothers. But anyway, it is what it is. Keep it classy, stay messy. Let's chop it down in the comment section. I love you to the moon and back. Ciao.